Thank you for joining me. In Nigeria, we have three critical borders that defines our stability as a nation. First and foremost, the Niger border. Secondly, the Benin border. Then thirdly, the border between Calabar down to Akwa Ibom and Cameroon. These three borders defines how stable, how economically viable Nigeria will become. You all will remember that precisely in 2023 into 2024, the northern elite rose. They spoke against Tinubu, against Nigeria, for trying to ensure that there is stability in the Republic of Niger. They chose Niger Republic above the Nigerian sovereignty. They said that they will push for Niger not to be fenced. But fast forward into December 6th and 7th, 2025, we saw how the Yoruba elite, how the southern elite, whether Igbo, whatever, how they all rallied when it was announced that military coup plotters supported by Russia have taken over the presidency in Benin Republic. Let me tell you, this is just another stark reminder that if a southern president is in power and he fails in securing the north, it is solely, purely, and mainly the fault of the northerners. Simple. C'est fini. There's no argument. Because Tinubu's invasions are clear. Tinubu invaded Benin on one simple request. Benin called Nigerian government, let us come and safeguard democracy. And we did. Niger Republic, equally when the issue happened, the president, as at then, I can't remember his name, called on Tinubu, announced someone, he said, come and save me. But we saw how the likes of Atiku rose up. They said every military intervention will only exacerbate the insecurity they are currently having in the north. I beg, has that insecurity in any way, has it reduced? Has it reduced? You tell me. So you will understand clearly that these northern elites have an agenda to ensure that ECOWAS does not implement what we call core borderline security and closure. While we were in the midst of that argument that should we go to Niger Republic, that we don't really care about Niger Republic like that. But what we want to do is, when my neighbor is hungry and I am the only man, only rich man in that vicinity, I must understand that one day my head will land on the plate of those poor men. It's as simple as that. This is what is happening. Because we can see that most of the money which we ought to be using for self-care, for social safety net, for so many other welfareist, operations and activities, we are spending everything into the north. And we see at the same time, the northern elites are not relenting. They are still saying that America's invasion is not in any way, shape, or form welcomed. I've always said that if it was Saudi Arabia, if it was Palestine, if it was Afghanistan that said, northern Nigeria, we want to do this, we want to establish mosque, we want to bring some level of alliance between you and Niger Republic based on your religious ties, they will collect it, they will welcome it, they will support it, they will finance it wholeheartedly with every drops of blood in there. Because everything about the north must start and end with the Islamic religious belief. Yes, indeed. So you will understand that whatever gains Tinubu had yesterday, maybe he was able to restore democracy. Maybe he was following the order of Macron. Maybe he's a puppet to the West. The bone of contention is the southern elite, the southern politicians, the southern youth, every one of them simply want stability in the south, because it is clear that if the coupists get in there, the Russian military will be the one financing Benin military, and over time, insecurity, the Islamic jihadists that have taken almost half of Mali, that have taken almost half of Republic of Niger, that are also disturbing Burkina Faso. My dear Burkina Faso, by the way, the Russians are the one in charge. No matter what you want to say, no matter how you want to demonize the West, all superpowers in the grand scheme of things simply want your mineral resources. It's as simple as that. Whether United Arab Emirates, Dubai, look at what they are doing in Sudan. Whether China, look at what China is doing in so many other countries. They build infrastructures, tie it to debt, take away your mineral resources. They don't pass down technological know-how, but it is still the same. You look at America today. America is saying they want to go into Congo and Rwanda, build industries. They will be able to what? Cut away mineral resources. The point is, Africa is right there on its knees. And as a nation, we must decide, who do we want to align with? Why I, as an analyst, why am I saying I want to align with America as against the likes of Russia and China? It is simple. Because I know if I take a look at all the alliances of America, whether in Africa, whether in Europe, whether in Asia, I can categorically say that most of these countries that America align with, they have freedom of speech, they have freedom of expression, they have freedom of religion. But if you take a look at the countries China supports countries that are totalitarian in nature. Look at China and Afghanistan are allies. China and Iran are allies. These two countries, there is no freedom of religion. Yes. If you take a look at it, China and Saudi Arabia are the allies, but you can see the influence on America, on Saudi Arabia, trying to liberalize the economy. Look at Dubai. Dubai, in fact, is celebrating Christmas. So you will define and determine what type of nation. So don't tell me that crap that China, Russia, they are the angels. America is a lie. They are all the same feather, birds of the same feather. They all want your resource. It now depends on how you, the leader of the nation, takes the best out of every deal. Rwanda is there, having his deal with America, having his deal with the West, at the same time having deals with China. But can you tell me that Rwanda is not doing well? Of course, you cannot say otherwise. So the northern Nigerian Fulani oligarchs and hegemony, they want one thing clear: any alliance that will support their oligarchy. Yes, that's what they want. The northern elite simply want one thing: that superpower that will come and support their their Fulani hegemony above the rest of us. That's it. So you will notice that if China tomorrow say that we are the one that we invade the north, they will tell you that China, you can come, because they will look at the brochure of China's alliance in the east. They are finding their brothers in faith there. They are seeing Palestine. They are seeing Iran. They are seeing the Taliban. They say, okay, this one's be like say they're not there against Islam. They're not there against Islamic radicalism. So you will have that very clear view of what is going on at the geopolitical era, because everything about the Nigerian instability can just be, traced to the northern elite who are sabotaging the effort of the president. The northern elite at one point never stopped Buhari from building the Kano to Maradi rail line. They never saw it as a waste of money. They never saw it as a threat. They did not. In the coming days, I am sure when Nigeria and Benin begin to have some level of trade deals and agreement, like, okay, let us do this together, let us do that together. You will see the North coming out to say, in fact, there was a time I remember when Tinubu said that, let us build the wall. General Musa came out, let us build a wall in Niger Republic. That instead of goods, values coming in from Niger, it is terrorism that is coming in. Let us block them. They said no. Now, the Yoruba people, Tinubu should go and build a wall between Lagos and Benin first. Imagine the sense where they their head. Hi God. And you know, sometimes you ask yourself, how did I find myself in a contraption whereby these people will tell you that terrorism is buying their people, their children, their wives. Oh yeah, let us build a fence and a gate to protect you. They'll tell you, no, you go and build your own fence. Knowing fully well that in my own side there's no insecurity. If there want to be insecurity in Southwest today, all we need to do is the Benin Republic border. And it is not just Lagos alone. Because the Benin Republic border goes across Ogun State, Oyo State, Kwara State. You will see about 4 states. So in Ogun State, we could have said, okay, make these Fulani herders they come. Yes. In Oyo State, we could have said, oh yeah, all the Fulani areas that has been proven to carry out reconnaissance for the Fulani militias, oh yeah, come in. But no, you go and check the Nigerian border with Benin. Along those coast, that road, you will find Amotekun there. You will find Nigerian army there. You will find even indigenes there who are doing the job of border police. Is it the same border? You will have, because there is no border in this country that is as busy as the same border. But even at that, you will not see terrorists use it. So which one should be more easy to protect? Is it the one that is busy or the one that is less busy? They'll tell you it's the size. It is not about the size. Each individual states that are mentioned in the south, 4, Lagos, Ogun, Kwara, Oyo, all took it upon themselves that they will not allow terrorists to come in. In Oyo State, the border of Shaki, Iseyin, and Benin Republic is being manned by the local militias in collaboration with who? With the Nigerian army and the customs and immigration officers. In the north, they will tell you, you know, I want to be able to eat my morning food in Niger Republic, eat my afternoon food in Chad, eat my evening food in Nigeria. That we are all brothers, we are all sisters. They make it sound as if the Beninois president is not a Yoruba person. We in Southwest, we have almost 65 to 70% influence in Benin. But the Yorubas are always looking like, okay, now that we are find ourselves in a contraption, let us build a country together. And that is the problem that I have with Yoruba people. They are the one holding this country together. The very day the Yoruba people begin to think like the Igbos, they begin to think like the northern oligarchs, Nigeria will disintegrate without a waste of time. The only glue holding Nigeria together, the adhesive glue, component holding Nigeria together are the Southwesterners. And I call on the Southwesterners that we need to become self-preservatory. We need to become conservative. Our own too much. Look at Tinubu now went to bomb them in Benin. Bomb some properties, bomb some buildings, bomb their soil. We supported it. Yes, I know. But the fact is, those that we are living in this country together, they will never, at any point in time, say that they want to be forming liberal, they want to be forming woke to conserve Nigeria. They will not do it. The northern oligarchs will not do it. General Musa is there today. This is the man who said we need to build a wall. We know what they said to him. We know how they are tackling him. Today, there are reports out there that General Musa might have issues with the NSA, Nuru Badu. When General Musa was commissioned, the first day he was at the Ministry of Defense, could you believe that Bello Matawale was not there? So when we say that the northern elite are the brains behind the insecurity, the perennial insecurity situation in the north. Don't argue it. However, listen to what this man said about Nurubadu on how it might sabotage or be a stumbling and an obstacle against General Musa, unfortunately.
That we first must love one another, understand that we're in this together, and believe that the challenges we're facing is a Nigerian challenge. It's not only for the armed forces or for the security forces, but it's for everyone working together. I want to assure you we're going to work united as we did when I was the Chief of Defense Staff. The important thing is for us to take the ownership of the challenges confronting our dear nation. These are things that we can't defeat. We can't win this war. But until we are deliberate about it, until the way we are determined, knowing that we are brothers and sisters and God has a purpose, He putting us here together, is not to destroy ourselves but to build ourselves up. And that's for me the most important aspect, that all Nigerians must put hands together to defeat the enemy. The Sahel is heating up. And you can see what they are doing to Mali. We will not want such situations to come to Nigeria. That's why our borders must be secured. Our security forces must be empowered, must be supported. And I want to thank you most especially, Mr. President, sir, for all the support given to me when I was the Chief of Defense Staff. It made a great difference. The National Assembly stood by us all through. Despite the challenges, we were able to move forward. And I can assure you that together, as a servant of this nation, we will continue to work together in ensuring that we secure our dear country. Nigeria is great. And we will never be ashamed, and nobody can intimidate us. That I know. Because we are one people, God's people, that will continue to foster, no matter what other ones are saying. Everybody in the world knows Nigeria is great, and it will continue to be great. Thank you very much, sir.
Not allowing the enemy to break into gaps between us. Boko Haram started because we protected them. They started as a small group, and if it had been nipped in the bud, we probably wouldn't have gotten to where we are today. The Lakrawas came in, we brought them in, and we said they are our friends and their families until they started attacking us. The message here is, when you grow a monster, he grows beyond you and wants to take more from you. So we must learn to say no to monsters. Any evil one that means by planning any evil against this country must never ever be supported, because it is the silence of the majority that gives them that opportunity to grow to who they become. The people must be part of the solution. I always want to remind people that the citizens, that the terrorists survive within the communities. If we allow them, they will thrive. If we disallow them, they will never survive. First and Second World War was very clear. When citizens stood up against the enemy, they didn't give them food, they didn't give them fuel, because sometimes you sit down and think, 16 years we'll be fighting Boko Haram, how have they been surviving? Who has been funding them? These are questions we should ask ourselves. Where are they getting the fuel they're getting? They're getting from us. We have commercial drivers that will go and take full tank, go out, go and siphon fuel and give them. Sometimes they have pre-arranged locations. They siphon fuel in jerrycans, dig holes and drop in and phone them and tell them where the fuel. These are the people that keep them going. So why are we doing this to ourselves? What is the motive? Are you going to be happy if your country fails? You want to be a refugee or an IDP somewhere else? Those are questions we must be able to ask and answer. This is why forums such as this are invaluable. They provide a platform for citizens to receive first-hand information from government and security practitioners. Such transparent engagement not only build trust but also